You're this perp back with another video, and I just got done watching New Mutants. Now, if y'all didn't know about this movie, New Mutants, this has been delayed, and there's been just reshoots been done to this. This movie has gone through hell and back. And is this as bad as people claim it to be? Before I get into this review, hit that like button and subscribe if this is your first time ever checking out a movie review. I have a bunch of movie reviews in the description below. Check those out. Follow me on Twitter at perpminded420. So going into this, initially I already had my doubts, but after watching this movie, I would have to say New Mutants, for me, isn't that bad. It's not great. There's definitely potential. You definitely notice the reshoots or where they reshot different scenes. This has a completely different tone to from the first trailer that we saw back in 2018. There was definitely horror vibes, but you kind of definitely see where they lightened up the tone a little bit, and that's kind of disappointing to me because I would have loved to see them dive into a straight up horror comic book type movie. We have our 5 characters here. We have Danielle Moonstar, which is our main character. She is kind of connected to this demon bear character, which this is where I have my issues with this whole entire movie, is the pacing and the way they explain these characters. They kind of just throw their backstories in here and expect you to just automatically connect with these characters. And that's why I say I think there was potential here to really flesh out certain characters and their backstories. Yeah, Danielle Moonstar is our first character that we're introduced to. Then we got Magik, Wolfsbane, played by Maisie Williams. We got Sunspot, Cannonball. But Magik is definitely my favorite character. She has an interesting backstory, but like I said, it's very poorly done because they just kind of throw it in there. She's been kind of mentally and physically abused. Her power set is really dope. I kind of liked the CG on her character, and that's another thing. Let's talk about the CG real quick. The CG and the effects in this definitely don't look like a typical Marvel movie. It's not up to those standards because the budget on this was 70 million or something like that, so that's what you're gonna pretty much get. It's almost like a high budget TV type of effects that go into this movie. I don't think it was too bad, but there was times where it kind of looked messy and looked kind of choppy, especially the beginning of this movie where we get introduced to Danielle's character and how she pops up into this asylum out of nowhere, and we get introduced to this doctor character, which I thought was really poorly done. She could have been an interesting villain, but her reveal as the kind of one of the main villains was kind of poorly done. But I do appreciate the way that they killed off her character, where you had Demon Bear's character come in and just tear her ass a new one. Which also kind of leaves me scratching my head, is if this was rated R, we probably gotten more graphic scenes, more darker scenes, because you definitely see them trying to lighten up the tone with a lot of the dialogue. There's a lot of MCU dialogue throughout this movie. Like I said, my main problem with this movie is the pacing and just the way they give characters backstories. Other than that, I think this movie is still watchable. Will I watch this again? Probably not. I think this is cool for just one-time viewing. Could there be a sequel, or would I like to see a sequel? Yeah, because like I said, I want to see these characters be kind of fleshed out more. I think it'd be interesting to do like a mini series or a limited series where you get like 8 hours and we can really dive into each individual character's backstory and then like flesh out certain aspects of their lives and really make it seem natural, because the way they come together in this movie doesn't really make sense to me, because especially like with Danielle and Magik's character, Magik's character comes off really jealous of Danielle's character, and the way that they kind of come together, it was kind of forced to me. And like I said, that was the biggest issue with me, is the pacing and the overall fleshing out of characters. You could definitely see the studio meddling within this production. They should have just let them do what they wanted to do and made this a full-on horror movie. But I can understand why a lot of people would think that this movie was complete trash, because you could definitely see that there was a lot of things behind the scenes that messed up this movie. For me, though, I thought it was decent. It wasn't mind-blowing. It wasn't as bad as I thought it initially was. Should you watch this? I would say definitely check this out when it's on streaming or whenever it comes to VOD. Should you buy this on Blu-ray? Probably not, unless if you're a collector and you gotta have all the different comic book movies, then yeah, you could add this to your collection. If you've seen this movie, let me know your thoughts of it in the comments below. But like I said, New Mutants had potential, but definitely fell short for me in a lot of different areas. It sucks that we're not going to get to see Mr. Sinister, because they definitely teased him also in this movie. Maybe we'll see him in the MCU down the line, probably like 10 years from now or something like that in the future. But this has been my review of New Mutants. Till my next review or my next video, I will check y'all out later. Peace.